Hey y'all, it's your girl Chai here and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you all some tips and tricks on how to promote healthy hair growth and to maintain your healthy hair growth. I did the big chop last year in January and it is now January 2024, and I don't know exactly how many inches my hair has grown. However, it has grown quite a few inches, and I maintained a certain routine and consistency in a lot of things, which have allowed me to grow my hair as much as it has grown. If you are interested in learning how to grow your hair and some lifestyle changes that you should be making in order to maintain that growth, please keep on watching. A routine wash day, making sure that you're doing the same things every wash day, same important things every wash day, not just doing a quick shampoo, conditioner, and rinse and then going on about your day. You have to have a more in-depth wash day routine, and I know wash day is already long enough as it is because we have to worry about the detangling of our hair and all of the different factors that go into why wash day is so dreadful for all of us girls with curly hair. But if your goal is to maintain healthy hair, you have to put in the time and the effort. What do I mean by an in-depth wash day routine? And you're getting ready to wash your hair, make sure you're using an appropriate shampoo and conditioner, of course, for your particular hair type and texture. It becomes very tempting to want to go ahead and detangle our hair with the shampoo in it because we're running our fingers through our hair and we're feeling all these knots and tangles. Shampoo does not provide the same slip that conditioner provides for us. Do not detangle your hair with a brush or a comb until you get to the conditioning part. Rest assured, especially if you're using an appropriate conditioner, again, for your hair type and texture, that conditioner will smooth those tangles out. So you definitely want to be intentional about the things that you do while you're washing your hair. And of course, it goes without saying, but some girls who might be watching this might be 100% ignorant about hair, so I'm just going to say it anyway. Please make sure that you're combing your hair from tips to the roots or from your ends to the roots. Do not just go in and start, because that's forcibly trying to get the comb or the brush through your hair, and that's going to cause tangles and breakage. Another thing, if you're on a healthy hair routine, that you must do is either deep conditioning and or doing hair masks. For the first half of last year, I wasn't consistently deep conditioning my hair. I was washing my hair, conditioning it, doing the rest of my shower routine, and then rinsing the conditioner out. Oftentimes, deep conditioning ranges from 30 minutes or more. Definitely choose which one you want to do if you don't want to do both in one day. Oftentimes, it serves the same purpose depending on what the ingredients are. So it may vary, but you do want to maintain that routine. The reason I do one each wash day is because I wash my hair every 2 weeks. Some curly girls or wavy girls might wash their hair once a week, which I used to do, but I don't do that anymore. And some girls don't wash their hair within a month. Now, especially if you're going a month, so you're only washing your hair once a month, you definitely want to make sure you're doing a deep conditioning or some sort of intensive treatment to your hair. So I use the Heal and Renew hair mask by Uncle Funky's Daughter. I would say try to aim for doing a hair mask at least once a month and deep condition every time you wash your hair, unless it's that week or that day where you're going to do the mask. You can also do your own hair mask with natural ingredients such as avocado, or you can do even avocado oil, but you do want a creamy base. So you can do that. You can do honey. You can mix it with olive oil. It's all sorts of concoctions that you can come up with to do a nice hydrating and moisturizing hair mask. But what I do is consume these ingredients, okay? And you don't have to worry about doing a mask. I always cook with either avocado or olive oil. So I'm consuming that virtually every day. I eat honey sometimes, depending on what I'm eating. I'll use natural honey in my food, and just overall eating cleaner is going to allow your hair to get the nutrients and the vitamins it needs from these individual ingredients. Now that we've talked about wash day routine, I want to get into another thing that I know has plagued the natural hair community for a while: permanently dyeing your hair. We all go through our phases in life where we want to see how we look with different hair. I like to say that looks can really be deceiving when you dye your hair as a natural girl, because our hair can withstand a lot of damage much easier than those with straight hair. So it may take a while for your hair to appear damaged, but eventually it will happen. And that happened a lot with me. After I did my first big chop, after that I ended up dyeing my hair red. And I had my hair red for years. And for all of those years, even up until last year, my hair didn't appear super duper damaged. Like, I didn't have any straight pieces or anything. My hair was still curly, but I could tell it wasn't the same. I could tell it wasn't at its healthiest state. And maybe some women may not be able to tell, or maybe they're just like, oh, you know, it's still curly, so I'm fine. No, baby, your hair is damaged. Permanent dyeing is changing the chemical makeup of your hair strands. Even if it doesn't appear damaged, every time you dye your hair, you are damaging your hair little by little. If you are so fixed on doing a different hair color, try alternatives. So some alternatives can be temporary hair dyes, colored wax, which is very popular in the natural hair community. A lot of natural hair girls use it. So basically it just coats your hair, so it literally just sits right on top of your hair. Most girls use it while their hair is wet, so they'll style their hair and then put it in their hair, and then when it dries, it is whatever color it's supposed to be. And depending on the brand that you get, it'll be really pigmented. So you might want to just do a little bit of research about what colors or what brands have the best pigment, because it will differ depending on the color of your hair, right? Just like if you had a white paper and you put red on top of the paper, it's going to come out as true and as red as the red is. But if you have it on a really black piece of paper or a dark brown piece of paper, that red is not going to show up the same way. So that is something you do want to and need to keep in mind. Also know that they wash out as soon as you wash your hair. That is another downside. However, an upside to it is, let's say you want to dye your hair red or purple or whatever color, but you don't quite know how it's going to look on you. So the temporary hair dye is going to allow you to see how it looks on you before you hopefully not decide to commit to a permanent hair dye. If you want to go almond brown or whatever you want to call it, if you want to go a honey blonde, a honey brown, and you put the temporary dye on your hair and you don't like it, okay, well, at least it's going to wash right off. Another option is semi-permanent hair color, which is just a step above temporary hair color. And semi-permanent hair color also just pretty much sits on top of your hair. The process is a little bit more in depth. it does last a few more washes than temporary color. Another option, which is more permanent than the prior two, is semi-permanent hair color. So it does penetrate the hair, but it doesn't lift your natural hair color to then deposit whatever color dye that you're using. It simply goes into the cuticle and then deposits the color on top of your natural hair. So then that is what makes semi-permanent color last even longer than semi-permanent hair color. But again, please keep in mind that the colors will vary and it won't be as prominent as permanent color, because permanent color is lifting your natural color and then depositing the dye, right? None of these options lift your natural hair color, so it is going to be a little bit different than what the bottle shows. So you either want to just experiment your own self or get some more professional advice from perhaps your stylist or your colorist. Please come with an open mind first, especially just deciding to go natural. Generally speaking, you have to have an open mind, and people don't realize the commitment that you're making when you decide to stick with your natural hair. If you transition, like say for example, from relaxed hair or semi-relaxed hair, it's a commitment that we didn't ask for because we were just born with our hair type and texture. So you do have to maintain an open mind. But if you truly just need to have permanent color, maybe get wigs, okay? They now make wigs that look very natural in texture, have beautiful natural textures, kinky, curly, all that you can ask for, right? So if you want to try that red so bad, you want to try that honey blonde so bad, that gray or whatever, just get a curly wig and dye it. But please don't dye your natural hair unless, of course, you desire the color of your hair more than the health of your hair. But if you are genuinely trying to prioritize the health of your hair, let the shackles of color, of permanent color, go, baby. Doing low manipulation hairstyles and protective hairstyles throughout the entire year. Now, of course, if you just went through with the big chop and your hair was just as short as mine, the first few months of having really short hair to almost your scalp, when you wake up, you have to pretty much redo your hair because it's going to be flat, which is the most annoying part. So that is not necessarily low manipulation, because you have to redo your head of hair every day, but it's okay because it's only for the first few months and it's not super duper detrimental to your hair. However, once you start getting some length, you definitely want to make sure that you are not really manipulating your hair much, because you are doing what is called mechanical breakage, constantly combing through your hair, constantly brushing through your hair, constantly, you know, putting your hands through your hair. You pretty much need to learn how to leave your hair alone in order for it to flourish. Doing these sorts of hairstyles goes pretty much without saying that it'll allow your hair to flourish, because letting it run its course, shedding at its own pace, and not you accelerating or causing breakage. I know buns can be more high manipulation because personally, I don't leave my hair in a bun overnight because I don't want to get tension breakage or tension alopecia, which is basically where your hair breaks off in areas that you put a lot of tension to your hair for prolonged periods of time. And I actually have experienced that breakage right at the top of my head. If you want to do buns, that's fine, but just make sure that you're changing the place that the bun is at, so you're not putting a lot of tension in that one area. Another good thing about doing protective styles such as buns is the fact that you cannot be running through your hair all day. Think about it. you moisturize your hair, you put oil in your hair, on your scalp, whatever the case might be, and then you're just constantly flipping and touching your hair all day. You think that those butters and that oil is going to stay in your hair after you're constantly touching it? Absolutely not. You might have noticed that your hair may appear to be drier than it was before you had left the house. And not only that, but during the colder months, the cold wind really dries our hair out. So if our hair is always out and you know it's just blowing through the wind, it's going to eventually dry your hair out. You do need specific products in your hair during the winter in order to help minimize the risk of losing the moisture in your hair. That's just some of my tips and tricks that I have maintained throughout the year in order to grow my hair. I know it looks short right now, but of course it's because I have the curls, but this is how long it has gotten. And here is the front. So it's gotten pretty long compared to last year. I hope this video was helpful for you all. I can definitely probably do a part 2 if you're interested. Just let me know in the comments down below. And if you have some tips and tricks, comment them down in the comment section too. We need to really share what we know and not gatekeep stuff around here, you know. That'll do it for today's video. Make sure you like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I will see you all in my next video.